Hey there, Domaniacs. Josh here, and welcome to another episode of Check It Out. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to start all these, so you're stuck with that lame intro for now. So, for this week's episode, which was really just me intending on showing off my cool things I have at home, Brian challenged me to not talk about the action figures on the shelves, but instead the other things that are on the wall. And as you can see, there's a lot of other non-action figure-y things, shelf things on the wall behind me. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in one, kind of a corner. It's right above the door, the entry door to the room. And then I'm going to go around clockwise until we get to about the halfway point. And then I'm going to cut that off. And then the other half of the room will be another episode. Why? Because I had a lot of stuff fall off a shelf and break. And there's a lot of damage over there. So instead of crying about it, I'll just put it off until I feel like dealing with it later. That being said, we probably won't get to it next week, maybe the week after. I have a lot of things to fix. So I'm going to go ahead and just give it the good old start. And we're going to come over here to this first corner and see where we begin. Right up here, I'm immediately kicking trash bags that should have taken out, but that's okay because you're not going to see it. They got X-Files Season 10 issue dose. That is the subscription cover variant. I had to go back and get it because the Lone Gunmen are my favorite. So there you have the 3 Lone Gunmen and the title logo from their spin-off TV series of the X-Files. I love the Lone Gunmen. I love the series. Rachel and I are on Season 7 of our X-Files run right now, so I'm intersplicing the episodes of the Lone Gunmen just to keep continuity. She loves it. I love it. We all laugh. It's a good break in between the tense end-of-season episodes. So that is my tribute to the Lone Gunmen. I got that from Hero House Comics back in the day in Indianapolis, so I've had this for a long time, and it's been on the wall ever since. Moving over, I got this Camp Crystal Lake pennant, Friday the 13th. This is from a Loot Crate. I cannot tell you the month or year off the top of my head because I did not get this. It was gifted to me from a friend, as many things in this room were, but it is one of my absolute favorite pieces. Makes me feel like I went to camp, you know. Over here next, I got this Turtles of Grayskull. I love this cover. It's Skeletor menacing the turtles in the turtle van. You know, I'll get you, turtles! And I saw it. It made me laugh. I picked it up on my birthday weekend this last year. Brian was showing me a comic shop, and my whole focus was getting things that I liked. So I went ahead and did that. Now on this door here, before we move over, I've got this very neat limited edition Friday the 13th 40th anniversary poster. This only came if you bought the box set from Scream Factory as a pre-order thing, so it is not available now. They have completely sold out. I think they still sold some after the pre-order still, but don't quote me. I'm not a historian for Scream Factory, but I absolutely love it because you've got so many real little details that luckily my phone is good enough to let me zoom all the way, and you can see the way that these campers were dispatched. You know, not necessarily weird, but like you can definitely tell that's Kevin Bacon with an arrow through his neck. Yeah, Betsy Palmer is Pamela Voorhees there. Just such detailed, lovely work in this thing. With the focus being Ari Lehman as the first Jason jumping out and getting his fictitious kill at the end of the movie. That did not happen. So that's pretty cool. You can even see the reflection in the water. But that is for the 40th anniversary of the first Friday the 13th movie. They did a small run in the theaters, but this was during COVID lockdown time. Luckily, I was able to arrange it with me and some friends to see it. And that is a memory that I will have and hold forever. One of them is no longer with us, so I keep this poster right here to kind of remind me of a great time that we had. Now, I will just kind of skim through the Skeletor corner shelf because we looked at that in the first episode, but right here, we got this Creep Show issue. This is not the exact thing that was in the movie, but on the inside, it's supposed to be what that kid was reading. This was given to me as a gift, and it is one of my favorite comics that I have, so that's also why it's on the wall. Definitely got to keep it in the horror section, you know, where it's well. But, yeah, we got Creep Show right there. And moving up a little bit, directly hanging on the wall is this Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon figure. I bought this at Horror Hound convention in Indianapolis a couple years ago. Several years ago, actually. I keep forgetting how long. But this one and the other one that the man were selling were the only two I've ever seen, so this is never coming out of the box. People tried to buy it off me as I was walking on the convention. I still had it. I had it in the bag, tied to my bag, so it's pretty rare, I suppose. And then up here, I've got a San Diego Comic-Con Entertainment Earth exclusive Dexter Morgan from the show Dexter. That came in a little pack with a little lunchbox that looks like his air conditioning unit, and it comes with a blood slide box. So if you're a fan of the show, you know how cool all that setup is. Once I figure out how to mount the AC unit lunchbox to the wall, it's over. It's going up there forever. I got this Mondoids from Mondo Toys. They're doing the Mad Balls thing. That is the NES color variation of Jason Voorhees. The back says it was exclusive to Designer Con, but I definitely bought it off their website. So I just really like that motif. I've got the regular Jason Mondoid, so I wanted to put that up there. That's something to look at. Moving on over, I'll get the glare out of the main view. You got this. That is the box that the Evil Dead the Game Collector's Edition came in. I didn't get the top tier. I got the one right underneath that. The only difference is it didn't come with a copy of the Necronomicon, which my buddy Kevin was able to get. Those were limited to like 200, so they went super fast. But my buddy Kev got one. I was at work and did not get it, but he told me it's pretty cool. Next to that, I've got this Friday the 13th, the final chapter. It's the movie poster, just printed on some vinyl. It was another thing I got that weekend that I got these Turtles of Grayskull comic. I was just buying things that made me happy, and I like, it's weird. I didn't have anything printed on vinyl, and I thought it was cool, and I like that movie poster, so I got it. Speaking of movie posters, I got this mini Freddy versus Jason poster over here that hangs out behind my horror collection. Once again, another gift. Got it for Christmas one year in a pack of stuff. Pretty cool. I got this Jason Voorhees watch that I no longer wear, but if it'll let me zoom in, yeah, Jason is made up of a whole bunch of different words, so you can pause that, check that out if you will. Little Freddy Krueger glow-in-the-dark keychain. These are all from like the same series. I got the Killer Clowns from Outer Space movie poster. They do some movie poster. I still have some more to hang up. I got the Lost Boys as well. And then this little remake Jason. And then so skateboards hanging up on top of this 3D Friday the 13th 3D poster because it hangs crooked and I needed to level it out, which is also why that little Lego's there. There is only one hole to hang, so it's not like I could change it. But yeah, for some reason this dude hangs crooked. And yeah, I really like it. 3D! Moving over here, I got this NECA Friday the 13th Part 3 mask. That is a cool replica that I got, as well as this Billy the Puppet jigsaw. It's a really cool picture. Rachel had it in a adult coloring book that she had and colored it for me, and she told me I didn't have any jigsaw or anything, so I put that on the wall because my baby made that, so deal with it. Got these Hot Wheels over here, this spider buggy and baby from Supernatural. Super yellow packaging, super gross and embarrassing, but I've had it for a real long time. It used to sit in the window. Well, I come up this step ladder so I can get behind things. There is my Infinity Gauntlet oven mitt. That was definitely recalled. I definitely kept it. Do not touch anything hot with it. It is good for making an infinite amount of wheat cakes. Just ask Aunt May. And if you don't get that joke, it was not made for you. Up here, I got something pretty cool. You've seen it in a previous video, the McFarlane Collectors Club Todd McFarlane figure. I showed it off in the unboxing for that figure. So if you want to see that, go check that out in another video. Now, up behind my independent comic shelf, I've got some independent comics. The glare will not show us the Image Batman Spawn, but that is the Image print of the Batman Spawn, as well as the last issue of the original run of the Tick comic book by Northeastern Comics. So that's pretty cool to have back there. Witchblade collection. It is very small, but it is by Image Comics, as well as the third issue of Savage Dragon. I was not putting the first or second up there, so we get issue number 3. Random issue of Invincible, because at that point in time I was tired of going through comic books and hadn't found any yet. And then the first issue of Powers by Icon Comics, later bought by Marvel. So that is pretty cool. I've got all those back up there behind my Image characters, which we'll look at more in depth in another video. Now, things on the wall specifically. I've got those little teeny tiny bobblehead Secret Wars Wolverine, black suit Spidey, and red and blue suit Spidey. I got these at Barnes & Noble, real cheap. They were on clearance. So, I don't know. I've never seen the rest of the set, but I've got those, and I've got this Mini-Mates poster that came out of a pack of Mini-Mates. I wanted to put that up. And then we'll move over here to check out what's behind my Marvel shelf. So, first off, I've got this Ultimate Spider-Man issue 1 variant cover with Scarlet Spider on there. Scarlet Spider is one of my favorite Spider-Man costumes. So it's very 90s. I'm very 90s. I love it. So I had to get that variant. Speaking of very 90s, Punisher Warzone issue 1. I've actually got that signed by John Romita Jr. That was one of my first comic books I had back in the day. This isn't the actual issue that I had back in the day. This is another one that I picked up later after all of my comics were lost. But yeah, very special issue. Speaking of another very special issue, talk about this Amazing Spider-Man 129. This is also a not an original issue. I mean, that is the original issue. This is not an original issue. That came in a Marvel Legend, the Thomas Jane Punisher. So don't let that be fooled. There's a couple of things that tell you like this not for resale tag right there. Another repro is this New Mutants 98, first appearance of Deadpool. I get people with that one all the time. If you don't know the key things to look for, you would think this was the original issue, but it's a good repro by Marvel. This is the last issue that they did a Fantastic Four. After the movies were doing so bad, they just didn't want to give them any more source material, so they ended the Fantastic Four comics for a little bit, and that is the last issue. We got Marvel Secret Wars. That is the newer Secret Wars, but this Doctor Doom is based on the original Secret Wars. It's pretty cool. If you look at it, it looks like a 3D image, but nope, that is a comic book, not a toy on the shelf. I thought that was pretty neat. We do have a toy on the shelf, though, Doctor Doom figure right up here. This is from Series 2 of the original run of the Toy Biz Marvel Legends. That is a Doombot face variant Doctor Doom. That is a chase figure, my friends. And nothing to denote it's a chase. You just had to know back in the day. Got glow-in-the-dark Venom from Venom Enemy Within issue 1. That definitely glows, so that's pretty cool. Sometimes I forget it's up there. It freaks my shit out. Amazing Spider-Man 316. Todd McFarlane drawing Venom beating up Spider-Man. It's a great issue. I love having that on the wall, so we'll get a good look at that as I step down the step ladder safely. I said safely, Josh. And we'll kind of just come down and look over here. I've got the... You can't really say the name anymore, but it's Boba Fett and Jango Fett ship. They're called the Slave One. I said it. I didn't mean anything by it. But that is actually a Transformer, and that is a Micro Machine. So both of these were gifts. I like hanging them out. As well as Danny Pennington. This was from a loot crate. I dare not ever open it. As well as this Rey Mysterio dressed as Raphael. Man, I wanted this whole series. Couldn't find him. Found Rey. I really want Cody to go right there, but that's another talk for another time. And we'll start winding down as we come over here. This is an older Mirage imprint TMNT issue that I found at a local comic shop in the back issue bin. So just a random issue. I wanted it on the wall. Sometimes you just put random things that make you happy, you know. This Secret of the Ooze picture I got for Christmas from a friend of mine, and I knew the exact space hole I had to put it there. Those are placeholders. I ordered the Ghost Brothers from Last Ronin, so those will go there eventually. This is pretty cool. This is from the Urban Legends line. IDW reprinted this whole series, but Raphael gets his face blown off and has to wear a Casey Jones mask, and Casey Jones gets this red, white, and blue mask afterwards. But yeah, that is the only issue of that I've ever found in a back issue bin, which is pretty cool. And then I got this Armageddon game. I just really like this cover. Raphael fighting Leonardo. I thought that was pretty cool. And the last comic I have that I'll leave us on is the Turtles watching a wrestling match between Brody King from AEW and the Shredder. And Shredder's getting his ass pile-driven through the ring with Splinter watching in disbelief. Oh my God! And then you got Danhausen up here, being Danhausen. They're going to see. I actually bought this off of Danhausen, and he autographed it for me and signed it to me, Thunderhausen, which is pretty cool that he calls me that. So, yeah, that is that. I've got another Danhausen special cover comic that I'll look at that is on the other side of the room, and some other things. So thanks for looking at my collection this week, and I'll see you back next week for another episode of Check It Out, and maybe we'll get something not in this room. Anyway, till then, I'm Josh Shaver. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out our TikTok as well as our other venues, and see you later.